In order to graph on Delta Math, we first have to state our X and Y axis labels is what they're calling it. In reality, what we need to do is find the scale for the Y axis. And then for the X axis, we're just going to put where the period or the graph of one curve ends. We don't need to put all the tick marks. Today in the lesson, you learned that when you divide our period by 4, that gets each of our tick marks. We're not labeling all of them, we're just putting the period. So if my midline is -8 and my amplitude is 1, I can add 1 and subtract 1. So that means my maximum is -7, my minimum is -9. Knowing that, I can fit those values down here. I don't have to make the scale anything other than 1. So I'm just going to type in 1 for me. And then my period, well, my frequency is 2. That means 2 curves from 0 to 2 pi. So that means that 2 times what gives me 2 pi? That would be pi here. Okay, again, normally we would break this value up in 4 and put all the tick marks, but for today we're just going to put just the 1. Done. Okay. So next we're going to move our x-axis scale in place and then plot 5 points for one circle. So first I'm going to move this in. I'm going to say let's do 3 boxes for every value on this axis for the 4 key points we're looking for, which means that my graph is going to end after 12 boxes. Again, that's 4 boxes for each key point. I'm sorry, 3 boxes for each key point, 4 key points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I should have been dragged this the whole time. Jeez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and plot my points. This is a sine curve that's positive, so I'm going to start at the midline and then increase. My midline is -8, so that's my y-intercept right here. That's my first point. And then from there, I'm going to increase. So then I said I'm going to have 3 boxes for every key point. If my amplitude is 1, -8 plus 1 is -7. So 3 spaces, and I'm at -7. Another 3 spaces, I'm back in my midline. Another 3 spaces, I'm going to go down to my minimum, which is -9. And 3 more spaces back in the midline. And this should be where that period ends. I'm going to submit my answer. Hooray, I'm correct. Again, because I couldn't type out the work, just to show you here the work, our amplitude is this first value here, which is 1. Our midline is the last value here, which is -8. To get our max and min, we add and subtract those. Sine starts at the midline. Plot the period and divide into 4 intervals. They're not actually dividing into 4 on here, even though they make that mark. I normally would like you to do that, so that would be pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, and 4 pi over 4. And that's our final graph. If you have any questions, feel free to rewind the video, pause, and stop anywhere.